Welcome to the Well of Possibilities. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're listening and watching this because there's work to do. It is July 7th, 2024, and we're 9 months into one of the most devastating things I've personally ever seen, a live stream genocide straight into my social media feed. And I think there's a lot of denial that I observe in friends, family, even in myself, and of course out in the world, in media, everywhere where we look. There's some information coming at us, but a lot of is hidden. It's out of sight. And really, when you start looking for things, you find things that you think, like, it is available. The information is available, and I urge you to do your research, to be open, to become alert. This is the reason why I do the Well of Possibilities, to open yourself up, to crack yourself open, and to say like, hey, I'm alive, I'm a human being, I'm here for love, I came from love, and you can establish love. Yeah, so I'm coaching people on those kind of things, on how to actually realign themselves with their purest sense of self, which is love. No matter what happened to you in your life, the experiences you had, the conditioning that was manipulated into you, I get it. I mean, there are a lot of things happening in people's life, but truly, I believe you are love and you can bring love. And so many people feel out of alignment. And yeah, this leads to discomfort, this leads to stress, it's the sense of disconnection from their true self, yet you might not know what is your true self. So how on earth can you get there? I mean, it may be hard, it's work, and then you think like, whatever, what the heck, I just continue my daily routine, I go back to work, I read the same newspaper, and then you're back in this train that's actually taking you in a direction that is not very, how can I say it? Probably not very joyful. Because what you want in life is to embrace change, to embrace adventure, embrace aliveness. So it's important to recognize and address misaligned feelings, or if you feel that you're way too far off balance, or you miss out on harmony fully in your life, or actually not enough for what you would like to feel. So this um, episode today is like a mini mini guide, like let's say a 5-step approach to how to realign yourself. And of course, it starts with identification. You get to sit down or go for a walk and identify the causes of where you feel disconnected or uneasy. You know, it may be when you're reading an article or seeing an awful picture or hearing bad news from a neighbor, or I mean, it can be anything, things at work, whatever, things in your family. Journal your thoughts. Journal your feelings so that you uncover what's underneath it. What is the reason that you feel unease? Are you afraid? Is there fear? Are you triggered? Is there a pain? What's going on? You know, so are you worried? So what is it that makes you feel disconnected or not at ease? So and once you have this written out, you can, there's a chance that you start to understand the root cause of, or one of the root causes of where you get into misalignment with your true self. So it's the first step. Address it, right? Acknowledge it towards yourself, like, hey, I think this is this. And then you can say, okay, this is how I look at it. This is how I act upon it. There's a gap, right? So what are the values that are missing? What are the passions that are missing? What are the things that you actually would like to do but are not doing? What are the things you would like to say but are not saying? So make a list. What matters most to you? And then compare it to your current situation. Like, where are you, for example, allowing humiliation to take place in your presence? Good question, right? I mean, it happens more often than you think. A racist joke, do you think that's okay? Or the way a parent talks to his child, is it okay? I mean, humiliation is taking place way more often than you think. And it's always a great checkpoint, like to say, like, hey, do I speak up or do I keep silent? I mean, I'm raised in the as an MTV generation. It's a music television station, and it had this great slogan. It was, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I mean, I think it has even driven me to do the work that I'm doing, because I find it very important to wake people up, to shake people up, to say, like, hey, you have a possibility to be responsible, do it. So where can you do something? Where can you say something? Where can you drop your wisdom nugget? Yeah, without fear, right? I mean, you might feel fear when you start speaking up, but it's start practicing in little small environments. But for that to be able to do that, you get to know what actually is what you feel, and what actually is important to you, and what actually does matter to you. So, but aligning your actions with your values restores, yeah, a sense of meaning and purpose, and also steers your direction again. So you kind of get up a little bit more straight up and say, like, okay, I know what I'm after. um, and then, yeah, people are meditating, so you can meditate, or maybe you want to go back into prayer, or pray, or practice praying, or start praying if you've never been doing this before. Doesn't matter. Just start talking out loud, or you can even say it softly, whisper it, whatever. It is all about acknowledging to yourself what you're feeling and putting it out there softly, loudly, by crying, whatever. You can also go for a walk, for example, in nature, and start breathing. Start, use the wind and the fresh air to kind of clean your inside. Say, like, okay, I'm always doing this and this, but I would love to do that instead. So clean yourself mindfully with fresh breaths that you take in, and then kind of exhale what you want to get rid of. It sounds a bit woohoo. It's not at all. It's a real thing. So just go ahead, go practice it. Practice deep breathing. Inhale and exhale strongly. So this kind of mindful walking in a meadow field, in the woods, at the seaside, in the mountains, go for it. Do it. If you have this in your surroundings, do it. Or else you go into a park in your city somewhere. And then, yeah, start your days with intention, right? I mean, if you're listening to this and you say, like, yeah, there are really few things that I'm kind of feel out of alignment, or I feel not at ease. What is an intention that you can set right now that allows you to do some things, or a little bit more things, that resonate more with your true self, that feel good, that you feel like, yeah, this is what I find important, this is what matters to me, I'm going to pay more attention to this, I'm going to shape words for this, and I'm going to express it. So break down goals into actionable steps. It can also be about food. Maybe you want to eat more healthy, or maybe you want to do sports. So it doesn't all need to be about opinions and those kind of things in life, but um, uh, it's personal for everybody. So decide what is important for you. You identify the cost, you think about your values, you then really start breathing, living with it, praying about it, talking about it to yourself, and then set an intention. Choose one or two for the week. And then if it's becoming harder, or if you want some accountability, share it to somebody. Reach out to a trusted friend, or an old mentor, or a teacher, or maybe a colleague, or maybe a coach. I mean, really share your feelings and seek advice on how to realign these elements in your life. And why is it nice to do it with others? Because you might think you're the only one who kind of feels a little bit disconnected from self, but there are so many. Trust me, I see so many people. There are so many that kind of feel that they're off track from themselves. So, if that's a thing, if I can say it like this. So share it and just ask. You can say this by asking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And sometimes the easiest thing is to do to ask a stranger. Just when you're on the subway, or in a bus, or somewhere in a bar drinking a coffee. Why not? The best talks are sometimes with strangers, because they are objective, and they most of the time truly want the best for you. So identify the causes of misalignment, reconnect with your values, practice some mindfulness. I mean, either meditating, but you can also just go for a mindful walk in the morning or in the evening after dinner. Set some intentional goals. Don't overload yourself, but make goals that have actionable steps attached to it, and seek for some support so that you really can start to implement what you want actually, and to restore some harmony into your life. Really, if you start to embrace this way, it has you less focused on stuff that you don't like. I mean, really, it's turning some attention towards yourself in a positive way. And of course, you won't succeed maybe immediately everything, but little by little, you're becoming a great, great example for others too, an inspiration, because you work on how to, yeah, connect back to self. And within you, there's a heart of flesh, a bleeding heart actually, that wants to be taken care of by you in the first place. And from that place, you can take care of the world again. So take these steps, reconnect to yourself, and you'll soon be feeling that you live already a more fulfilling life. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye.